Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to Talking Town, the show created for fans by fans of Ipswich Town. And joining me this evening is the media mogul himself, Matthew Phillips, and the Metro man, Ben Adams. Now, as always, this show is also available on all major audio platforms. So whether watching live with us this evening, please do get active in our live chat and get your opinion in. Catching up later on, FTA, comment for that algorithm, or listening, be sure to leave that 5-star review. And thank you for tuning in and choosing Talking Town. Mike Baker says totally unacceptable. Someone might say absolutely pathetic. Before we get stuck in, though, don't forget we are partnered with Match Bingo. Remember the word town, all in caps, and Stowmarket Osteopaths, but more on both of those later. And while you're here, don't forget, if you like your town news, views, fan opinion and more, hit that subscribe button. Tractor Boy says no backbone, no leadership, no idea really why that a change is required, as McKenna is clueless on how to stop the slide. Look, if you want to get active tonight, please leave your comments in our live chat or ask for the link and it shall appear. But let's talk about last night. Quite frankly, it was disgusting. I can't remember a bad game as that under McKenna, and we've got some serious issues and concerns, and facts do not care about your feelings. So do let us know what you're feeling, what you and your opinion is tonight in regards to your football team. And of course, click that link. Now, we start every Talking Town podcast after a game with our Town in 60. It's your chance to rant. I want to say praise. One day I'll say the sentence praise, and there will be a situation where we can praise, question, think out aloud, or speak from the heart and deliver a passion plea. And I'm going to start with you tonight, Ben. I want to hear what you think, what you feel, having watched Ipswich Town get beaten at home to Charlton 3-0. Over to you.
I was practicing this in a car coming home from work today, and I got about 30 seconds in and I had to stop myself before I crashed the damn thing. It's ironic that part of what I do as a living is teach people how to manage their anger, and yet I find myself completely unable to manage my own when it comes to this. I've left that stadium disappointed, sad, frustrated, cross. That was the first time in years I've left absolutely furious. When we done this about Middlesbrough, my opening gambit was everything that Town does badly, and they did it. But Town thought, no, hang on a minute. We've just played Charlton. Hold my beer, Ben. Hold my beer. We'll show you everything that Town do badly. Yeah. And it starts at the damn top. And there are serious questions now. The argument's always been he's got credit in the bank. But if you don't look after the money in your bank, it bleeds away £1 at a time, one goal at a time, one team selection at a time. And my proposition is that credit has now run out.
Okay, that credit has now run out. And tonight we're going to do, likes, dislikes, good, bad, although I have a feeling it's going to outweigh on one side than the other. We're going to discuss the manager as well. We want your thoughts on that. Lots of discourse. As Mike says, some great chat in the Discord today. There's some brilliant chat in our discourse today. Steve wants to link. Steve wants to get involved. Love to hear that. And don't forget, we have a voicemail service. Loads of voice messages coming up as well. You can leave it at speakpipe.com/talking town. But Matt, you've heard Ben, credit in the bank has now run out. The card has been declined. What's your 60 seconds as we kick off tonight?
Yeah, I'm kind of sort of thinking back to past games. You often say that, Martin, Matt, remembering past games. But remember we lost 3-2 to Millwall in the Championship? And I remember thinking to myself, Ipswich are going to get relegated to League One here. And it happened. And then you look at last season, we lose to Southampton, don't we? We haven't beaten anybody.
Yep.
And you think to yourself, the writing's on the wall here. We're going to get relegated. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get relegated here, but it certainly starts feeling like the echoes, and people are saying it here, of Burley 2002, which was also October. And Crunch called me last night on the way out of the stadium and said exactly that thing. And actually, Martin, we've got to give you credit, because what did you say at the top of the summer? Unless they hit the ground running, we could be facing a Burley 2002 scenario here. And we pretty much are. We probably did underestimate Charlton a little bit. When they've moved up to fifth, they were defensively sound and took their chances, had a great deal more energy than what we had. Why didn't we have that energy? Don't know.
Well, you should have done after 7 changes. And you're right. I did say it, sadly, at the top of the summer. I said it towards the back end of last year when people were saying, oh, don't worry. You know, we're assembling a squad for the Championship. We're going to have a good season and bounce back. And I was fearful. that if we didn't hit the ground running, there could be a big pressure cloud looming over Portman Road. And sadly, I don't have any joy out of you saying you were right, Martin, in that regard. Sometimes I do, but in this one, I certainly do not. And not alone. John says in our chat, we're doing a Burley history. Oh, sorry, Sean. We're doing a Burley history repeating itself. It's hard to disagree with that at the moment. LJ recruitment has been bad since promotion, which of course then leads itself into an Ashton, Co, McKenna, is the coach. Ashton is the chairman, CEO. I'm sure there's probably other job titles he might have collected along the way. I'm not quite sure. Andrew, the trouble is we think we're a lot better than what we really are. Trevor asked, has anyone seen Ashton? And that's what starts to happen when you start doing badly. People start to ask where, and that's where generally the pressure starts to build on those above. And that's where moves generally make. And I'm not saying the moves going to be made. I'm just saying that's that pressure starting to build. Mike says, why did McKenna ditch the hybrid right back role? Axel used to cover us and get us out of jail. Now we have no one capable of defending.
Despite the fact we've got about 15 right backs, but yeah, you're right. None of them are capable. Yeah,
well, this is it. And Tractor Boy says, I thought McCarthy was stubborn. Yeah, look, my 60 seconds.
Look at that tight turn. Turn. Oof.
It's not good. It is the most unbalanced views in one way I've seen in regards to the manager.
Polarizing
for the last, since he arrived. Let's be.
Well, we done the show last night. You may have seen it, Ben, on the way home. Or you were just ignoring anything to do with sound.
I had to turn it off at one point and thought I've got to get where I'm going safely.
Yeah, we said, didn't we, Mike? We'd never seen so many get McKenna's finished comments. No. They were literally, because we see him in real time here on the screen. Literally flying up there. It's a real mood change, and sad as well when you consider what he has delivered. But as you rightly said earlier, Ben, money in the bank doesn't mean anything. You're only as good as your last result. Our last two results have been defeats,
and that's it. And that credit, you've been slowly withdrawing it week on week, and now, as Ben said in his 60 seconds, it's run dry. And yesterday, when I joined the Match Reaction show. Strange feeling joining the show as a guest more than a host.
You made enough bloody noise when you came in, dropping mics.
I've edited that out now. You wouldn't know that has ever happened. So
you're the kind of annoying people that sit next to me on a flight on holiday. Oh God, not really.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fairly large man in a Volkswagen Up, Matthew.
It's true. That's
my wife, when she climbs into bed after me, it's I've got to get up again, put the laptop down, phone on charge, all back up again to put the thing back in the drawer, then come back again, then can't get. Like, just lay down.
That's like me getting into bed, right? But I'm going to ask you about McKenna in terms of, is this a blip, or is it the beginning of the end last night? I'm going to ask you that question, but a bit later on. For me, and this is my 60 seconds. Last night I was leaving a bit numb, and I didn't quite really know what to say on the Match Reaction show. But thinking about it now and coming back to those 7 changes, that's really, for me, that's really stuck with me and really angered me. And it annoyed me last night when it was announced. And I just feel like, have we learned nothing? Because if you cast your mind back to Bristol Rovers, that fateful away evening where it was not a happy...
I always get reminded of this.
It wasn't a happy place.
Get her out.
Yeah, it wasn't a happy place. You had your captain and fans arguing. It wasn't a happy place. Luckily, Wednesday forgot how to win football matches. And what did he do? He found a settled, consistent side. Because before then, if you remember rightly, he was back to what he was doing now. Tinkering. 4 changes, 3 changes, 7 changes, 5 changes. All those different changes. What changed after Bristol Rovers? A consistent 11. What happened in the Championship? A consistent 11. They all knew each other, all played with each other, all had that chemistry that teams need at this level. And the subs came on to make an impact, to stake a claim, to make a cause, to play me next week, boss. Put me in. Promoted to the Premier League, and suddenly it's gone back to, for me, a group game, a squad game. Have we learnt nothing? 7 changes is, you could call it disrespect to Charlton if you like. I just think, why? 3 games in a week should not mean let's play as many players as we possibly can in this week. It's not a cup game. That's what really annoyed me, and we'll come back to that a bit later on. But that's my 60 seconds or more. But let's start with that then. That's my dislike as well. 7 changes, and I say I don't think we've not learned anything, Matt, from the Rovers inconsistency to suddenly finding a consistent 11 and back-to-back promotions and back to this. Who's playing the McKenna Lotto Ball?
Yeah. And then you start sort of looking at the dynamic of it all, don't you? You say, is McKenna being arrogant here? Oh, it's just Charlton, League One side last season, promoted via the playoffs against Orient. We could just put out a B teamish kind of lineup, stick Evan up front, see how he gets on. Should have enough in the tank to beat them. I mean, looking at the team sheet, you'd think we would have had enough in the tank to beat them, but we didn't. Is there just an arrogance there from McKenna, just thinking we can just rock up and win these games? Why Philogene was on the bench, God only knows.
Oh.
Now, he wasn't great. He had the least amount of touches against Borough. We know this. But we've also said on this show that he's a different beast at home and on. At home, he scored 5 goals in 3 games. His last outing out at Portman Road against Norwich, scores the worldie. Missing from the starting lineup last night. Why? It's ridiculous.
And that's why I don't like it, because, you can play surely, Ben, professional athletes can play 60 minutes of 3 times in a week. That's his shirt. He's earned that shirt. He's been our best player. That is now down to somebody else to wrestle that shirt off him in the half an hour they get coming off the bench, when he comes off. Surely that's how I would run the squad. But for me, it's like, well, we've got a game Saturday, a game Tuesday, a game Saturday. So you'll start today, Ben.
I'll be
Matt,
playing
you'll get
one
your
of them.
chance.
Yeah.
But it feels like how we do the podcast. So a show tonight. Matt, you'll do tonight's show. Ben, you can do Friday's show. Curtis can do Monday's show. But hang on, I had a great podcast last week. Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter. No.
The huge trouble with that is that McKenna has stupidly put himself in a great big fucking hole for West Brom now, because he's got 2 options. He has to change it all over again because he made 7 changes. So even if he goes back to the ones that were shit against Middlesbrough, that's another 7 or 8 changes he's got to make. And if he keeps it the same, he's fucked that way too, because that team completely and utterly fell apart. So he has put himself in a box now. But the one thing that doesn't damn well change is the formation. And I tell you what, we are the team. People come here to shoot at us. And I said this on the last podcast. We change personnel, but we don't change formation. Charlton went through 3 models and 3 different patterns of play against us. Low block the living shit out of us defend, hit us on the counter, then swarm us and put another man just behind the front midfield when they're actually on top. He done 3 tactical changes and we had no answer to it whatsoever, because he knew their manager. He knew no matter what we do, no matter what players we put on, no matter what formation, they will stay exactly the same and just man swap. And I've said this 4 or 5 times in a row now. West Brom will come here to shoot us because they know exactly how we're going to play. The only thing they don't know is what player in the position it's going to be. In 5 days' time, they know exactly how we're going to play. In April, the teams we're going to play in April know Norwich at home could plan against us now because the formation will not change. And that is sheer fucking hubris for me.
Right in what you say. And as Mark completely agrees.
But it goes down to the players as well. It wasn't the fact that the goals were shit. It wasn't the fact you had fucking Burton Ernie as our central bloody defender. Do you know what the thing that pissed me off last night that made me walk out? It was the fucking corner 8 minutes from the end where it rolled out to the corner and every player just stood there waiting. And even the crowd picked up. It's like, you're 8 minutes to go. You're playing for something. Give the crowd something, the ones that are left. And the crowd had to boo to force a player to go out and take the damn corner. You tell me, in a team with Wolfie, with Burgess, with Morsey, with Chaplin, you tell me a team with those characteristics that no one runs out to get that ball and take a damn corner for whatever it's worth, which is our 618th of the game by that point. That is the attitude, and that's the problem. And I got a bit pilloried the other night when I said about we are lacking a goddamn captain, and the argument was, well, when they cross the line, that's what they do, and it's McKenna's the manager in it. No. There was no captain. And O'Shea, when he dropped a fucking bollock twice in a row, which led to their goal, he let it all go. What did he do?
Well, yeah.
Fuck off.
Matt, you're
that's a good point, isn't it? Are we missing Morsey's voice in the middle of the park there? Because you've got Matasiwa in there, Cahuste, Nunez. Obviously, Matasiwa didn't play last night, but two new players in Nunes and Matasiwa, and Kuste was obviously there last season. Are they just missing that voice of leadership in the middle of the park there? I don't know how vocal. Matasiwa, Kuste, and Nunes, albeit skillful players, don't come across as the most vocal. I mean, I was watching on Sky last night. You'd see Morsey there, wouldn't you, in the middle, cajoling players, telling people to pull their socks up or giving them a bollocking at a corner or whatever. You're not really seeing that. And you mentioned Wolfie there as well, Ben. That's interesting to me because what did he say in that Coventry interview or the press conference, or whatever it was?
I tell you what, that is his
alluding to problems behind the scenes, wasn't he?
And everyone says, "Oh, shut up, Wolfie! Fuck off! You weren't getting the space." I tell you what, no one is laughing at that goddamn comment now because you're seeing it out on the damn pitch that you can do performances like that and just he will not change anything about the shape of our team. And O'Shea and Greaves, Jesus Christ, how much money did we spend on them to regress?
But that speaks back into my original dislike with the 7 changes, because if you're playing well, you stay.
Open up the door. I'm hot.
You open up the door. If you're playing well, you stay in the team. That's how growing up as a football player, albeit not at a high level, I'll admit, it used to be. If you're playing really well, you stayed in the team, and it was down to others in the minutes they got to change that thinking, Matt. And like Jaden Philogene should be starting every game at the moment until somebody proves why he shouldn't be.
What was that about? What's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, no idea.
The only goals we can score right now are fucking penalties or like generational wonder goals. So you don't take out one half of where the goals are coming from. But what's the thinking? What, that he can't play a few like 4 days apart? What's the thinking?
That's the modern thinking. That's the modern thinking, though, isn't it? We seem to have been, for me, as modern football fans, told, "Oh, players can't do 3 games in a week, Matt." But we're old enough to remember squads, nowhere near this size having to play. And Charlton last night made three changes. 2-3 changes. All right, fair enough. But anything above 4.
I just think Ipswich got a slap around the face last night. It was a comment from the show last night from a Charlton fan called Simon, and he put here, "The thing about us is this: you don't want to go behind against Charlton. Stats show the best you will get is a draw and much more likely a defeat. We are talking over 30 games and we go ahead. We've drawn a couple and won the rest." Ipswich have not been remotely in that space for God knows how long. I mean, we keep saying, don't we? We keep making defensive errors. Charlton, a League One side, okay, they're not playing in the Premier League or nothing, but so they're going across 2 seasons here, straddling 2 seasons here. As soon as they took the lead, that guy's right. As soon as they took the lead, it went 2 up.
Oh, they're like Barcelona.
Their defending was just too tight for us. And what do we always say about Ipswich? The more passes they have, the worse they're playing. And we were bordering on 500 by full time, something like 450, 470.
Shall I take just to wedge the depressing nail into the very depths of our very heart?
Please,
that he brought on Ben Johnson and Jack Taylor. And why did he bring them on so it wasn't 4-0? We've got a £180 million squad, and we're actually bringing on players to so it's not a complete and utter disaster. I'm thinking, holy shit, we're actually trying to stem goals against us, against Charlton at home, which is the only reason they come on. And again, it's the damn substitutions. You could tell 5 minutes after half time, they've not got it. They're coming at us. They're coming at us. Step, and then we go 1-0 down, and then 2-0 down, and still he doesn't change it.
All right,
a bit shape then, didn't it, with Palmer down? Yeah.
Give us a like or a dislike. Come on, give us a like or a dislike. What you got?
Well, I've given him a dislike already about Philogene. What I did like, actually, the paradox is, of course, who plays in that role? Jack Clark. You look at the stats. He actually made the most chances, 6, which we couldn't convert, and had the most dribbles in the game, which I think was 4. So he actually played very well. But you don't quite have the same goal threat as what Philogene does. I mean, he's not scoring goals from 25, 30 yards. What I did actually, I thought, who did play well last night, and I was saying he was almost anonymous when he came on at Borough, his old stomping ground, was Chuba Akpom. I mean, he was very unlucky to hit the bar.
Akpom. Jesus.
And then he has that. And then he has that glancing header right before they scored, doesn't he? And I was up. I thought that had gone in. Just shaves the post, doesn't it? So I thought he actually was showing signs of someone who was actually finding his feet a little bit. But of course, just as he's getting all this confidence, Ben, he concede. Literally about 2 minutes later.
But I think you're right. I agree. I think Akpom and Clark both had fairly decent games in a team that's been beaten 3-0. as decent as you can have. And I'll tack on to that with one of my likes before I come to one of your likes or dislikes. But I liked Azon up front. I thought he really did a
He's
solid
busy, isn't he? He's busy.
shift.
Yeah.
He was receiving ball to feet. He was spinning. He was holding it up. I thought he was a real handful, real lively striker yesterday for us. And I would like to see that.
You think he's better than Hurst?
Well, on that one performance, yeah.
He done more in 15 minutes than Hurst has done the last 180. Like the movement, the tackling, the tracking, the holding up, even the bit of shithousery. He's Spanish. He falls over. He won 3 free kicks for us in 10 minutes. Hurst does none of that. Absolutely. He tracked back 20 yards behind the halfway yard in the first half, the halfway line to collect a ball, to then give it to Kayus and then sprint it back. He done more in that game, and he might not score a lot of goals, and God knows he's close. Jesus Christ! But if it's between that and Hurst, I mean, surely that debate's settled.
Surely, after that performance, you'd like to see him again. Aid says McKenna reminds me of a plate spinner, confident with spinning 6 plates from Poundland, but useless when spinning to China.
Is that what your analogy is, that Ben?
It does.
I like it.
James, it's having so many star players at other clubs working against us. Some players strive when they are the main focus, but not one of many good players.
I think what's working against us, I think Kieran has come back down into the Football League thinking we could do what we did in promotion 2 seasons ago. And it's not worked out that way. I mean, you've just seen a League One side, then get automatic promotion last season from the playoffs, come in and be so defensively sound against us.
Because they're a team.
They had more energy and they probably wanted it more, didn't they?
They know each other's games inside and out, Matt. They're not making 7 changes and saying, hello, who are you? Yeah. They know each other. They've got chemistry.
It's so true. We played against a team. They played against 11 players, and that's a huge difference at this level.
Feels that way. Which is a total shift away from what we were saying after the Norwich game. They're finally giving us a moment, all the scenes. I mean, look, Charlton far better than what.
Do you know what? And this is the danger of where this goes, because it sullies everything. We beat Sheffield United. What was the score? 5-0. 5-0. We beat them on like their darkest day. And then we beat Norwich at their lowest ebb in 2 decades. And we suddenly get all this entitlement to think we're going to storm the league. I mean, the die has been cast. I mean, I don't know. And this is the trouble, right? I was walking back with my uncle, my cousin and my granddad to the car thinking, I remember this. I remember this used to happen every week. But we walk back laughing about it and we'd talk about the day ahead because we had 0 expectations. And this is the danger when the expectations are so high. And even with me, a level of arrogance and expectation has crept in, because in fairness, it's been kind of well earned by McKenna. But when you raise the levels that much, this is why it hurts so much. And you look at a team like Charlton, who are nothing particularly special on paper, but they died for each other. They actually got fitter and quicker as the game went on. They died for each other, to quote Warnock on the pitch. You got to die to get 3 points.
And that was also noticeable, not just yesterday, but in previous games, but definitely yesterday. When a goal goes against us, like the year you're referencing there, Matt, in terms of the plan of being that team that we were when we were last in the Championship, there'd be times when we'd go behind, but there was always a belief, not just in the 11 on the field, but the 30,000 in the stands. And yesterday, it felt like the moment Charlton scored, all of us, fans and players, thought, "Here we go."
Compare that to 2 years ago. We get a goal conceded. We're like, oh, okay, you've pissed them off now. Now watch us step through the gears. Now you've offended us by coming to our team and to our place and scoring. Now we're just going to bulldoze you. We go a goal down there. And Kieran McKenna said it after the weekend. He said, we cannot go a goal down. We know why he says that, because he has no plan to overcome that. Because then every single team is just going to lock door. And every team knows what to do it now. It happened at Preston. It happened at Birmingham. It happened last night. He said, you get a goal against us and you shut up shop. You've won. It's yours. Congratulations.
But I agree with you, Matt. Akpom looked good. Although, we've got a world-class number 10 currently not at the football club. Of course, Town lost this week, so he's got better again. Connor Chaplin, he's now world-class. He gets better every time Town play a game of football and don't deliver three points. But
sorry, Mike. I was going to say, just leading on from that, another comment from the show last night. Ian, Borough fan, says you could tell McKenna was the coach in the same setup as Carrick. So stubborn with the formation of tippy-tappy football constantly, really slow build-up play that gives the opposition time to get behind the ball, and it will not budge from the current formation and doesn't make subs until the 70th minute. And what happened at Borough? They all got fed up with him, didn't they? And then he left. It seems like that's a mirror reflection of what he's saying there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Daryl says, shocked at what I consider an overreaction on this channel. We were always going to have some poor performances and defeats along the way this season.
Right, can I just answer that very specifically? So this
okay.
is off of where's it from? So this is a form table, right? So Ipswich Town's form is among the worst in the entire EFL. With just 7 wins in their last 48 games, their points per game of 0.68 places them dead last in the combined form table for all 92 clubs. We're below Accrington Stanley in form guide and Colchester United.
Well, yeah, we've been behind Accrington Stanley in the real table. So
it shows you we was out of our depth. It was out of our depth last season, and we seem to be out of our depth at the moment against more tactically sound clubs and managers.
You don't need to be tactically sound when you know what's coming.
Oh yeah, true.
The thing, and this is the thing, and Daryl's more than able to have that opinion, and I'm glad that Daryl shared it with us. This is the whole point of the platform, that we've all got different opinions. Like Steve last night, for example, I did not agree with a single word he was saying. But that's the point of the platform. All different opinions. None of them are bigger or more valid than anybody else.
The second half had clouded everyone's judgment. I mean, we had played all right in the first half, and even Sky were going, Ipswich were looking decent. But for whatever reason, what was in that half-time cup of tea, God only knows.
Yeah. But as I always say on every show, facts don't care about your feelings. And the only way you make conversations like this, conversations around social media, conversations around the concourse, any type of conversation in this sort of way go away is by winning games of football. And sadly, that's not something he's done consistently over the last 50 matches. The thing is, I'm just speaking on my own personal facts here. You know, the 7 changes I felt was too strong.
Yeah.
You go back to the championship season, we were promoted. You could list that team in your head right now, and you knew it every single week. Haladke, Axel, Wolfie, Burgess, Davis, Morsey, Massimo, Burns, Chaplin, Broadhead, Hurst. That was your team. Then more comes in. It wasn't, okay, how many changes this week? That was before Bristol Rovers. That was when we weren't flying high. That's when it wasn't great. Luckily, Wednesday forgot how to win a game of football that season. Otherwise, it could have been a different story because they were well above us. All right, so I've said I've liked Dazon. You liked Apom. Ben, have you got any likes or dislikes for us?
I've got a like on the pitch and off it. I like the sausage rolls now, which was the highlight of my day yesterday. They were unseasoned kind of slabs of meat in this kind of wet, like a foreskin around it. It was disgusting. And now they are flaky, they are seasoned, they're hot, and they melt in your mouth. So congratulations on the sausage rollery.
And how much did you have to take out on your mortgage to purchase said item?
I think it was about £4 something, which is it's a lot wherever you do. It's ridiculous in the stadium. But that goes to a dislike because it's half time. Each kiosk is serving about 1,000 people, and you've got 3 17-year-olds serving you. So it's like we're saying, take our money, and they just don't want to take it. But another like on the pitch, Jack Clark.
Yeah,
he tried, and he tried beyond when everyone else had stopped. He's incrementally getting better and better. And one of the arguments goes that he just needs games now. I know that kind of goes oppositionally to this, whatever this settled 11 is. But since we don't have a settled 11, you can kind of pick any player you want to go in any position because there are no embedded players in the team apart from Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
So it's like, so for me, I think he was a real highlight yesterday. He always looked forward. He carried the ball. He looks like he has some bollocks on him. It's nice to see.
All right. Okay. I think that was really good half an hour. I've got the voice messages to play. Before we do that, forget the word town, all in caps, because we've partnered with Match Bingo to give you a deposit bonus. Match Bingo combines the excitement of live sport with the thrill of bingo. Excitement of live sport. So whoever wrote this didn't watch Ipswich Town versus Charlton. Your card has 15 random events from a live football match, and you watch them get marked off. If you use the word town all in caps, you can get a 100% deposit bonus. Deposit minimum is £10. Terms and conditions apply. And while it's bonus cash and can't be withdrawn, the winnings can be. So get a 100% deposit bonus by using the word town all in caps and combine the excitement of live sport with a thrill of bingo. Terms and conditions apply. Please, whatever you do, gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. Over 18s only. T's and C's apply. Link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to play now. In case you didn't know, T's and C's do apply. But I've said that like 5 times in the last five minutes. Right, here we go. Let's have some voice messages. Have a breather, boys. All right.
I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to listen on an Android because it doesn't work with iPhone technology.
I'll mute you. I'll mute you now. No problem. Here we go. Let's do it.
Right, Middlesbrough game. It's Dave here from Australia again. Yeah, we were second best that day. They actually reminded me of the Ipswich, the year we went up. The way that they kind of connected with each other through the pitch and carved us open quite easily. Looks like they're going to be there or thereabouts. But having said that, I don't think they were as good as we were in that year, and I don't think there are teams in that league this year that there were that year. I don't think there's a lead. I don't think there's a Leicester. This year looks like at the moment Coventry, Middlesbrough. Who else? I think this year's an easier year, so I'm still confident that we're going to be up there. And we just need to click. McKenna doesn't really know at the moment still who his best team is, and yeah, they haven't got an identity, if you like. Tricky one, but it's probably time for Ezon now. When Hurst went to take that penalty, I've heard so many people say they just knew he wasn't going to score it. Why is he taking that? I mean, he wants to get himself back on the scoring run, obviously, but
Hello fellas, love your show. Am I alone in this world? Ipswich Town, we all love them, but let's get serious. We're not top 2 material at the moment. Top 6 at the best. Too slow, too predictable. Tactics always the same. We all love Kieran, but surely the measure of a true manager is he can be flexible and adaptable, learn, change, evolve.
And
the problem is other teams, Coventry, Middlesbrough, they've got wise to how we play and what we do, and we're being snuffled out. Ezon must start next couple of games. We've been good in patches, but we need to be much, much better. We're already playing catch up, and to be honest with you, just can't see the top 2 this season at the moment. Want to be proved wrong, but I think playoffs at best. And sadly, we all know what happens in the playoffs. But forever, up the town.
Up the town.
Dave here from Australia again. It's the Monday after Friday before.
Love that.
And just to say, I think we're going to be all right. It took McKenna a little while to get sorted when he first came, about half the season, I think. And I think the same will happen here. I think it was a harder league in the Championship when we went up than this is. I think we're going to be all right. We still don't know what our best 11 is. But another 3 a.m. start for me.
Dave's had 2 bad premonitions.
Come on, town.
Well, where do I start? Luckily, I've been at work today, so I didn't actually go to the game.
You lucky man.
Quite a blessing in disguise, really. I just feel sorry for all the fans that was there. The players need to have a hard look at themselves. I don't think it's not for trying, but there's no excuse for 3-0 at the moment, and the game's not even finished. It's just embarrassing, really, isn't it? And maybe we need to just think we're not as good as what we really are. We need to get a proper settled 11. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel broken, to be honest with you. Yeah, nothing else to add, really.
My issue is McKenna has no plan B. Definitely changes. Absolutely crazy. I'm struggling to these thought process. Too many silly errors, and I thought Ezon had a fairly good game, but that's about it, really.
Evening all. How do we break this one down? It's not easy. McKenna's the man at the top, so he's going to get the brunt of it all. But to me, it was another game of what ifs. What if those chances went in the first half? Nunez's free kick, McAteer's shot, Akpom's hit the crossbar. We could have been 3 up. The game would have been done, pretty much. And we'd have all been laughing right now, loving it. but instead the mistakes has cost us. O'Shea, central defender, what's your first priority? He's running backwards and he tries to head the ball back into play when it should have gone out. Everyone knows that. The other 2 goals, it's just football. You can't help that. Defenders standing still. That happens to the best of them all. But I just feel for McKenna and the boys, really, because they're all going to be disappointed tonight, just as much as we are. But Saturday, West Brom, it's another chance to have another fantastic home win and put some hope back in our beliefs. But, yeah, tonight kind of sucks. But on a brighter note, the scum are in the bottom 3, so we can all smile at that. See you later, boys. Oh, and one more thing, a massive shout-out to Colin Plum.
Another 3 a.m. start to the day. Don't mind it when we win, but last night, what was going on? It just seems like the team selection's a bit of a shambles. He doesn't really know who his best 11 are, clearly. But why isn't Jaden Pillagin starting again? I just do not understand that. Surely that's his spot. The other thing I noticed about the game was that there's an expression here in Australia called get the dog in you. They don't have the dog. Smodics has got it. And Matasua's got a little bit of the dog, but everyone else are just waiting for the second ball, someone else to get the second ball, no commitment. Where's the shot blocking? Every time we play against someone, we have shots, they block it. Against Middlesbrough, one of their defenders, the captain, he was throwing himself around, leaping in front of the ball to stop our shots, and we can't score. Where's that from us? O'Shea, I mean, he's a great leader, but put some blocks in. Get the dog in here, Ipswich. Come on. Up the town.
Well, what can you say about that? I thought people were exaggerating saying that Friday night was awful, because I thought we were bad at points, but I thought we were good at points as well. I think tonight we were good for the first half, but not clinical enough. Second half, that's the worst 45 minutes defensively we've ever been under McKenna. And that's against Charlton. Charlton, let that sink in. Fucking shit, Charlton. O'Shea should be dropped. He is never a captain as long as I've got a hole in my arse. I'd potentially, even though he was bad last week, put Kitbray on the right and put Greaves on the left. Young is significantly better than Furlong, and I think Azon needs to start again Saturday because he did more in his period and looked dangerous than Hurst did at all.
Charlton. Fucking Charlton. That is going to be a clipped up. That was a line I was not expecting, Mr. Matthew Phillips.
Yeah, exactly. We consider like some of the results we've had against Charlton at Portman Road. Didn't we do them 5-1, 6-0, something along those lines in the last couple of seasons? But yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with a lot of those things. I mean, Dave getting up at 3 a.m. in Australia to watch that.
Oh, sorry for him.
Yeah.
And yeah. By the way, big up the person who voice messaged during the game. Love that. That is what we want.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Don't want to hear you saying you're broken though. As town fan, from one town fan to another town fan, we're with you. Talking town.
I've got to question the good chap, and thanks for the voicemail. To say he feels sorry for McKenna. It's like if I go and spunk my monthly cash in a casino, I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't. If you're the cause of something, it's hard to feel sorry for the players. They have their blame as well. But Jesus Christ, feel sorry for McKenna and the boys. Which part? Which part? This fan base.
Yeah. Sorry, who am I talking to now? Ben or Matthew Phillips? Sorry, I was looking down at my foot. I could have swore I heard Ben's voice, but heard Matthew Phillips's words. Normally, what Matt says. Wilderness, Matthew. Wilderness.
Sorry.
We are in the wilderness now, aren't we? We are. I mean, what prompted me to say the wilderness to begin with after we lost to Maidstone was we had no strikers in the building after that Maidstone game, did we? Broadhead had played the night, and what we got now. We've never, as people keep saying in the comments there, 12 million on McAteer, but you've not replaced Delap. Huge miss.
No. And yeah, thank you so much to every single person who left a voice message. Love that you're getting involved with that. I really do appreciate it. And I love hearing the different ups and downs. You had the chat from, I think it was Australia, 2 voice messages there where you could hear the optimism in his voice. And then post Charlton, it was like,
Deflated.
The life of a football fan, right? When
He said McKenna doesn't know what his best starting 11 is. He's completely right. No one knows what the team's going to look like, as Ben said earlier. No one knows what the team's going to look like against West Bromwich Albion on Saturday.
Trouble is, all the opposition team know that too. They know it now. They knew it before today. They know we don't know what our best starting 11 is because we're advertising it to everyone to see in everyone we're going to play. Yeah. And you can actually game plan that. It's like, just stick together, boys, fight for each other, because it's the one thing they won't have, and that's how you beat us. And every team knows it.
And the only and I really want to sit here and I really want to do a show where we do good take, bad take one day, because I've got one of those coming up soon, hopefully. Looking at the summer takes that we all did, which I can imagine is going to be fucking brilliant. But I wouldn't want to sit in here and say good take, bad take. And this would have been the worst take that we possibly could have had. But the only way you can do that is by winning games of football. That's the only way he's going to be able to do that. We can't wish it into reality. He has to make it into reality.
Shut us up.
Yeah, absolutely. And facts don't care for your feelings. And the statistic on the wins in 48 games is damning. It's damning. Particularly when you sit here now and you look at teams that have just gone up to the Premier League do well.
Sunderland. We've got Sunderland who scraped in the bloody playoffs and had to get through the hard way. Shit. Yeah. They watched us and thought, okay, there's a lesson. There's lessons in that. There's lessons in that. First of all, don't completely annihilate your entire team that got you there. There's one lesson. Number two lesson. Let's not play open football against a team worth £500 million every week. Third lesson. If your centre-backs are good on the way up, don't change them when you reach the top. I mean, God almighty. Simple.
Upper Town, we had McKenna. He had us all on our knees, Jade on the bench, Tactics on the fence, Town are going to stink out. Sorry, I just caught up with what he's trying to say there. Sorry, now it's hit me. So there you go. You see, that's how long it takes me to get a joke. So that's pretty good, Upper Town. Stick that on a tea towel, t-shirt. Get it sung. No, Harps. KM's taking it on the chin. However, for too many players are letting them down, and the fans, don't get me wrong, KM is accountable, but the players are far from achieving.
Stephen Digby in the comments. That's a great comment. We haven't replaced our Division 1 striker. Great comment.
Yeah.
Great comment.
And I would say to Harps, actually, in terms of like KM's accountable, but players are achieving. This comes back to the Jaden Philogene, Matt. If you've got a player that's red hot and winning you games of football, and you can't win games of football without him, ride his coattails until his form drops off, right? If he's the only good thing going for your team, play him every single bloody week.
Yeah. I mean, that was the one that just jumped out at me when I saw the team last night.
Yeah.
And you going 7 effing changes.
My head could have exploded outside Cardinal Park. Yeah. Honestly, Ben, it could have exploded. I still can't get over it. I think I'm over it, and I've said enough.
It's a rookie mistake from someone who should know a lot better than that. And I wonder, look, you don't have to say a manager has reached his end in a horrible way or a scathing way, even though that's what it feels like when we're being steamrolled by fucking Charlton. It's maybe a McKieran, thank you so much for what you've done for giving us our club back. Thank you for everything you've done. And do you know what? You've taken us as far as you can go with us. And maybe you'll go to another team and you'll elevate them even beyond us. But you've taken us as far as you can go.
I don't want to believe he has. That's the problem. I don't want to believe he has.
And that's the feelings over the facts.
Exactly. And Upper Town may seem negative, but it's therapy. Exactly. This is the weekly therapy.
I'm Victoria's message. I'm in the next 14 days. I'm throwing a 30% off all anger management therapy if you're a Town fan. So show me the tattoo. I'll show you the discount.
There's content for you.
I never thought. Right, we've got Steve joining us very shortly, but okay. I'll ask you very quickly. Blip, and we'll look back and say bad take. Beginning at the end, and we'll look back and say early but right take. Matt.
Oh God, I'm compromised on this, to be honest with you. We've already lost. I was going to say earlier in the show, we've already lost. What did we lose when we went up in the Championship 2 seasons ago? How many games did we lose?
I can have a look.
8 or 9? 8 or 9? We're on what? 3 already? Lost 2 in 5 days or whatever it was, 4 days. So that shows you the difference, doesn't it, between the McKenna team that was riding that Christopher wave of League One promotion straight into the Premier League, and one that's coming down from the Premier League with zero momentum, as someone said earlier, against the side that had loads of momentum in Charlton and, sitting fifth. But I did say, did you see how many games it was, mine? We lost in that.
I'm looking it up now, mate. I'm just listening to you. Sorry, I was
just
lost in your words.
Yeah, there's a first for everything.
There is.
So that just shows you the difference, doesn't it? That just shows you the difference. But I did say at the top, sometimes you just get that feeling, don't you? The Millwall game under Lambert, we lose 3-2. We go down to League One. Southampton last season, writing was on the wall. Last night did feel like the writing was on the wall to me.
The die had been cast. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It did have that vibe. And you think back to when Paul Jewell got the elbow, or Roy Keane, all sort of like miserable results, weren't they? As you said, Ben.
6.
6. So we lost half already.
And do you know what? And when you know it's a fact, do you know what? It's like when you know a relationship is finished.
But Leicester lost 11. Sorry, Ben. Leicester lost 11 that year.
Oh, did that? Oh, okay.
So some endings, they don't come in dramatic style or flash and bang. You think about when a relationship's ended in your life. Think about when you know that your time at a particular job is done. It's not a fuck this, I'm out of it. It's usually a moment where you go, yeah, okay. Fair enough. And I think we had that moment last night. I think the die has been cast now. And you have people who would defend McKenna. He could come in and shoot the Crowler, but they defend him because of what he's done. That's all turned now, all over the place. And it's silent from Ashton upwards.
And it's mad we're in this chat, Ben, having beaten Norwich, what was it, 3 weeks ago almost, or whatever it was. Yeah. It's weird. I still can't think who would replace Kieran. I mean, Danny Rowe, obviously, you like mine. We mentioned this last night. He's gone to Rangers. He's not in the mix anymore. So I just don't know. He's got an opportunity Saturday to put this right, hasn't he? I don't really want to. Given what Kieran's done for this club, I don't want to see him get the elbow. So hopefully he can turn it around Saturday. But it's a steep climb, isn't it? After last night's second half,
yeah,
it really is. All right, the third goal went over the goal line; it shouldn't have counted. But just the manner of the defeat, wasn't it? As we said earlier, the Charlton just showed so much more energy and wanting to get 3 points than what we did, and that's the disappointing thing. And McKenna said that, didn't he? Our reaction wasn't good enough.
But then Saturday will tell us more, because
you're right.
If he said the reaction's not good enough, and obviously they'll be having their conversations behind closed doors, Saturday could tell us a lot more in terms
there's nowhere left to hide if we lose Saturday. And let me tell you, West Brom are a damn better team than Charlton are. If we lose on Saturday, so that's no points out of 9, when everyone was thinking 7 points out of 9, there is nowhere left to hide. Like, you will see everybody turn. There'll be nothing left.
But I would also want to see a reaction, personally, from whoever's playing in the 11.
Sure.
For those that are coming in.
I wanted last night to be a reaction to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, but, when it's unacceptable in that regard, you got to have a reaction and say, I'll let you down, boss. I'll let you down.
From your captain.
That.
£5
from Town. Super sticker. Appreciate you, Town. Facts tell me it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
But my heart doesn't want to admit that it's the beginning of the end. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's given me some of the best moments of my.
Yeah. It's okay to be conflicted, man, because that's sometimes what it is to be a football fan.
This is guillotine gov, Ben. I'm normally of all of us saying, nah, he's got to go. Time to go. No chance. And I just can't bring
some relationships you just don't want to end, but you know the end is coming, and that's okay too, I think.
Steve, help us out here. Help us out. Is it the blitz or is it the end?
Gents, how are you?
Been better, Steve.
I bet. I'm going to get me tattoo next week, Ben, so I want me a percentage off my anger management.
30%, brother.
I just think he's not doing himself any favours. I don't, the system itself isn't working. He's got players, he's got individuals, and I think you said that last night, Gov. There's 11 individuals out there, not a team. And you look at Charlton, and they're all working for each other. And besides the point they were in League One, actually they're working towards each other, and they've got their goal. They know their role. They're defending. They're hit you on a break, that sort of stuff. With us, I feel like, looking backwards from the back onwards, You know, you got your goalkeeper. I don't know what's going to happen with Palmer. I don't know what the injury situation is with that. But even in the Norwich game, and you look at some of the passes out from O'Shea, you look at early passes out from the back, we are a car crash waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And I think people are realising that and putting pressure on early, and know that Kieran wants to play that way. And that's fine. If you want to play that way, that's great. But you've got to have the players to play it. And we ain't got those players. And I don't care what you say in respect of defenders and this, that, and the other. We have not got those players to play that system. We haven't. They're not ball-playing defenders. Dara O'Shea, yeah, on his day can be a good play. Yes, he can. But more than likely not, he hasn't been. Jacob Greaves, same again. He's a mistake waiting to happen.
Cool,
And
yeah.
He is, full stop. And it's not my opinion, it's the facts. It's what we see. Kipre made one mistake and he's out. Okay? And for me, that is very, very harsh. That was at the end of the day, a mistake. It was an own goal. And he got his feet in a muddle, and that could happen to anyone. Greaves has been sent off several times. Do you know what I mean? So let's look at the formation, because Kieran will fall on that formation. He's flogging a dead horse. That formation isn't working. Plain and simple. You've got Leif Davis, a left back, likes to swing forward, go forward, but he can't defend for Toffee. He cannot defend for Toffee. And he was shown that on Premier League. He's been shown it at the start of the Championship. If you want him to play that role, play three at the back. Get wing backs. Let him go. If you want to play in that system, let him go. And then play narrow. If you want to play narrow, play three in the middle. How about play the three midfielders? Let Nunes have a wandering role in between the two holders. If you want to play that system, play Jack Clark on the left if you want, Philogene on the left, and Casey McAteer or Egley on the right, and then Azon, which I was really, really impressed with the other night. I'm with you, Ben. He did so much more than Hurst. Hurst has got an attitude now. He thinks he's way above. It's my role. That's what I do. No, mate, that's not what you do. Actually, you need to pull your socks up and actually put a shift in, because he's just not doing what we want him to do. And I think he's got within himself, he's like, do you know what? I'm spot on. I'm number 9. Do you know what I mean? I can do what I want.
He knows he's going to play.
But I think after that, Azon, and I'd noticed, Gov, when you had the chap on from La Liga who was talking about Azon, he needs an arm wrapped around him. So basically, he's obviously, when he was he Valencia? Was it Valencia? Or beforehand? Zaragoza. When he was in Zaragoza, he was obviously thrown into being the main man, and actually it was a little bit too much. And he's a young guy, and obviously he's come over to England as well, so it's a little bit different. But like you said, Ben, he did more in that half of that than Hurst has done, and I think he will go strength to strength as long as the fans don't turn on him, the fans don't, give him stuck. And I think that Egley, I think he needs a little bit of an arm round. I know he's got a big price tag on him, but some of the stuff he was doing at Norwich was sublime, let's be honest. But the Championship is a hard league. It is a massively hard league. And I think, going back to the squad per se as well, is when we were in the Championship before, Kieran would do those subs, and we would have on the bench, we would have potentially Amari if he wasn't playing. We'd have these people coming in, Chaplin if he wasn't playing, all them sort of people, game changers, I would say. And you never really knew, even though we had the starting setup per se, like you said, Gov, with Broadhead and stuff like that, and people knew that team, but you didn't really know what to expect coming off the bench. What are they going to bring? What's Amari going to bring? We haven't got that now. We haven't got it. It's not there.
My question
go on.
My question to you, because you mentioned 3-5-2. And I was looking at formations earlier, and it's not just formations, it's how you approach in terms of press. Our press was famous in the year we got promoted from the Championship. It's poor right now. How we move the ball is poor. We're so slow. It's almost Paul Lambert-esque, 500 passes, asthmatic ball, all these different things that Paul Lambert had thrown at him. And almost right back there in terms of how slow and build up and just put a pass in for passing's sake. But you mentioned formation there, 3-5-2. My only problem with the 3-5-2, Stephen, I want you to tell me how you go about it, is if you want to play Davis as your left wing back, where are you putting your best player, Jaden Philogene? Because if you've got a 3-5-2, you're almost saying, well, Jaden and Jack Clark are going to sit on the bench. And, Jaden's our best player. He's the best thing about us at the moment.
Yeah, I get you, Gov. I do get you. Maybe it's a case of a little bit of a tweak with that, or maybe even a 4-3-3, Gov, and play narrow and play the two wingers per se up the top with Hurst.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if you're playing a 4 and the 2, and then obviously the 3 behind, at the moment, what's Davis doing? Because he ain't going forward, and then you drop in the hybrid 3, because that ain't happening. It's not happening. We're not doing it. Whether it's Furlong that's not suited for that, whether we need to, and my concern around it is like O'Shea, Charlton heading right into the gaps where no one was there. Yeah, I know, granted, the midfield 2 hadn't played together. I get that. But we're talking about playing together. If you look at the back 4, obviously Palmer went off, but when Palmer is there, Palmer, O'Shea, Greaves, Leif Davis, all played in the Premiership together. Okay, right back's a little bit different. Ben Johnson, where has he been? I don't know. Whether he's been injured or not in the right headspace or whatever. But they have played together. I don't know. I just think he will fall on his sword. He needs to realise that it's not working. Now, is it because there's no one next to him? And this, you're probably going to laugh at this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Lee Grant's gone, hasn't he? Okay. So how much of that he was in here? Gil Martin's there. They've brought what is it? The set piece coach. Oh
hey,
God!
My favourite person.
Oh my God.
He played for Bourne.
Mark Hudson.
No, there's another one. There's an
Oh, you mean
coach.
Junior Stanislas?
Yeah, brought him in as well, didn't they? But how much of they influence Kieran? Because it seems and it might just be a coincidence, guys, but it seems really weird that we've gone a bit wayward. Lee's gone. Whether he was the calming, I don't know. But it's a massive coincidence. Maybe I'm just putting 2 and 2, making 5. I don't know.
If you don't look at our set pieces and think we're okay coach-wise, then I've got no hope for this, frankly.
Yeah.
Because our set pieces are by and far the best thing about us. Have been for about 18 months. I joke, of course, because they're the worst thing about us. And that says a lot, because we've got a lot of things wrong with our team at the moment. But set pieces, again, last night.
How many corners?
Don't.
We delivered every type of corner known to man last night in one match.
Except the good one.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. Except the good one.
I also think that obviously, that we talk about the ex-players, we talk about Wolfden, we talk about Burgess, we talk about Chaplin, who's on loan. They're not here. All right? They're not here for a reason. They're not here because the club didn't feel like they wanted to extend them. It's a fact that maybe Wolfie wasn't playing, which he wasn't. Let's be honest, he was not playing. I just think that saying, "Oh, let's bring Chaplin back in January," going to solve all our problems. I'm really sorry, it's not. I'm really sorry, it's not.
I mean, that is Ballon d'Or nominee Connor Chaplin you're talking about.
Yeah. So was Rakeen Harper, Gov, but we won't talk about that, will we?
No. I'm joking, because obviously Connor Chaplin, I agree. But every time we talk about Connor Chaplin, it's this growing myth. Week. As the team gets worse, he gets this this myth like,
Yeah.
oh, it's because we ain't got Chaplin. It's because we ain't got
Yeah.
Chaplin. Aid says, woohoo, I had set piece coach on the Talking Town bingo card. Aid,
Good man.
congratulations. Should be playing match bingo though, shouldn't you? That's what you should be doing with that.
Oh,
5
dear.
only be gamble aware. Steve, we appreciate you coming on the show. We really
Great
No worries.
points, man. Great points. I mean, I'll
Phenomenal.
either see you in session or we'll have a beer sometime. That's
Yeah,
a really
definitely. Yeah, no worries. Cheers,
great,
chaps.
great.
Gav, you
the
know
good
where I am
points.
if you want me. Just give me a
The good
message,
news,
mate.
Steve, there's good news. If McKenna does fall on his sword, as you said, people in the comments want you to be the manager.
Oh,
Take over.
okay.
I'd run
Found
through
the
a
solution.
I'd run through a
He'll
wall
put
for
on
him.
the wing backs.
Absolutely. Steve, appreciate
Cheers,
you. Look
guys.
after yourself.
See you later.
We've tuned
Good,
the
good guy.
chat
Clever guy.
this evening. We have put it all to bed. The weekly therapy session is coming to a close. Anything else before we must leave? Because you're at 9%, Ben. So very quickly.
I'm at 9% iPad battery. It's now 6%. One
Woo.
more thing that fucking pissed me off. They closed down Portman Road to enter the South Stand and the what's the stand you sit at called now? The Cobble, whatever it's called.
Me,
They,
the Cobble. Been there for
they
about 30
closed
years.
it off to come up from the station, and I thought it was just a Norwich thing to separate. Now they're it's a thing according to the police. I was talking to them last night. They're now closing off walking into Portman Road. You can walk from the Sir F. Ramsey statue down, but you can't walk up it. So I thought, oh, maybe there's roadworks. Maybe they're doing some work. No, because at the end of the game, you could walk out left of the South Stand and exit out of Portman Road. What the fuck is that about? So apart from the sausage rolls, they've over-policed it. You got them goddamn metal detector people who they give me a quick thing. He goes, "Oh, what you got in your bag, mate?" I said, "Everything." All right, go on through. So they didn't check the machete in my pants. But you want to look at my inhaler, you fucking. So there's that. So it then filtered thousands of people into one entrance of the South Stand. So for 10 minutes, you had scores of people coming in late after the match had started because they've decided now that it's a public health and safety issue. You can't walk up Portman Road. We've got to separate the fans. You know, the Charlton Ipswich Ultras that's never been in any trouble in 50 years.
Famous for their brawling. The Charlton.
What the hell is Norwich? Fair enough, I get that, but now it's a thing. So you can't walk into the South Stand via Portman Road past the memorial. So everyone is going through these little turnstiles, which is about 40 feet wide. Absolute lunacy, and it is indicative and representative of everything else that's going on right now.
Welcome to modern football. You know, cue the Sean Dice GIF poster. Matt, anything else from you before we go?
I just hope we can. I just hope we can turn it around on Saturday. It's going to be a tough game, but I hope so because I don't want the McKenna era to be ending like this. He's given us so much, but as we said earlier, sometimes things are just written, aren't they? But there's nothing we can do about it as supporters. We can only go on Saturday and cheer them on and hope they can get the 3 points. I hope we do because that will make Sunday's game much more better conversation than we've done here. At least we've had, well, you know, Ben. At least we've had a therapy in a group here a little bit, haven't we?
What a huge game. Low battery warning, 5%. What a huge game Saturday is. Like, it feels monumental and it's actually going to dictate the direction of so many things. Players, managers, league position. And we're in, what month are we in? October. This is like, this game feels gargantuan. I don't know if you feel the same.
It's certainly shaping up that way, and as such, we have got a huge West Brom match preview tomorrow, live 7:30 with Mr. Matthew Phillips in the hosting chair, talking to West Brom fan Chris Hall.
Great, he's going to love this after last night's performance.
I bet he is. Yeah, well, that's why you're hosting it, and I'm going to be sat feet up, thinking I'm not talking about Ipswich Town for at least 2, possibly 3 days.
Yeah,
joy. But thank you for watching. David has kindly sent a €10 super sticker. Appreciate it, David. And thank you to Town as well for the £5 super sticker earlier. Thank you for the great conversation, the great comments. Thanks to our voice messages. Don't forget you can do those anytime, day, week, night, before the game, after the game, during the game. Anytime you want. Speakpipe.com/Talking Town. We have a Charlton fan with us, John. This says Charlton fan listening, enjoying the fallout. Yes, John, I bet you are. Particularly the guy that phoned in to say what fucking shit we were. Look, if I was a Charlton fan, I'd get a shit kick out of the team we just beaten 3-0 on their own ground, saying that. I really would. But John, no disrespect meant, obviously, but I'm sure you didn't take it as any disrespect at all. But until then, until tomorrow, rather. This man here is wonderful. The other man over there is equally as wonderful. I have been your host. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. All the best. You've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. Hit here to subscribe. It's totally free. And hit here for more Talking Town videos. I'll see you on the next one.